Hi, I'm Edwina Lee. I work for Type as the Director of Business Division. And is a fund foundry of Taiwan. We devoted in developing fund technologies and CJK funds. And we are celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. I'm glad to have a chance to be a speaker this year. The first year ATypI has the conference virtually in its 64-year history. I believe it's not an easy year for all of us, and I truly hope that all of you are doing fine, healthy, and safe. Okay, back to my presentation. Today, my topic is a responsive Chinese SongTi for multiple use. First of all, let's take a look at the evolution of Chinese typefaces. Chinese characters have a very long history. Long time ago, before 1300 BC, the characters engraved on turtle shells, the oracle bone script, were already very mature Chinese characters. After that, Chinese characters evolved along the time, from the ones that was hard to recognize to SongTi and MingTi. SongTi appeared in about 1100 AD, after the movable type printing was invented. The craving knives influenced the structure of SongTi. As time goes by, SongTi became more mature, and in order to adapt the printing for comfortable reading, it evolved to a more mature form that at the time of Ming Dynasty of China. So SongTi is also called MingTi. MingTi and SongTi is a kind of typeface that is similar to serif Latin. They always have serifs like little triangles on their terminals of strokes. So when we do matching for serif Latin, SongTi MingTi is always the choice. Most of the books are printed with MingTi. It's one of the most common used typefaces in Chinese characters used areas. The picture shows very mature MingTi, and the picture on the left is a book of 1589, and the one on the right is a book of about 1624 to 1633. The features made for printing was very mature, and it made reading more efficient. After removable type printing was invented, reading became popular. Books were printed in large amount. To respond to the demand of the market, SongTi MingTi became regular. The horizontal strokes are nearly horizontal, and the vertical strokes are bolder and straighter. The elements like little triangles on terminals became less like KaiTi and was more geometric. The structure of Chinese characters also became regular, and the elements gradually united. After that, to the modern times when metal typesetting was invented. Metal types are always KaiTi, MingTi, or SongTi. Until now, books are always printed with MingTi, SongTi. I would say more than 80%, and sometimes KaiTi. There are some theses appointed that SongTi MingTi has better legibility, that they help understand the content and increase the reading speed. When the time comes to digital printing, books can be printed with any typefaces. So let me take a super obvious example. Like for kids' books, you could see all kinds of cute typefaces. But for books, especially books with a lot of text, are more likely printed with SongTi MingTi. Then, something interesting happened. Okay, some of you might remember this cell phone as a Nokia 8210. Launched in 1999. You can see the system font, KaiTi. KaiTi is a typeface similar to sans serif of Latin. It has no serifs on the terminals of the strokes. At that time, cell phones used to use bitmap fonts of MingTi and SongTi. But the problem is, the feature of MingTi and SongTi has large contrast of horizontal and vertical strokes. The horizontal strokes are always thin. So, when using TrueType fonts on screens 20 years ago with very low resolution, it's really hard to show the horizontal strokes clear. On top of that, choosing KaiTi, a typeface without serifs, could make the screen look cleaner. KaiTi started to occupy all kinds of digital devices from this time on. Windows started to replace the Chinese system font to KaiTi, traditional and simplified, in 2006 when they launched Windows Vista. They also changed the system font of Office 2007 to KaiTi. Afterwards, all the electronic devices we use every day are embedded with KaiTi. Then we could start to see books printed with KaiTi. Though I've been using smartphone for almost 10 years, I should have got used to read in KaiTi theoretically. But to be honest, it's very weird reading books printed with KaiTi. It just don't feel that smooth compared with the books printed with MingTi and SongTi. Two possibilities might be the reasons to the situation. One, when we read on cell phones, the size of screen is limited. We don't read large amount of content on smartphone screens. It's still different from reading books. Two, there is saying that serifs of MingTi and SongTi are important features to stimulate our brains to identify characters, so that MingTi and SongTi makes reading efficient. Not only Chinese, it seems like the Western world was attacked by sans serif typeface as well. We could see in the past few years, a lot of famous brands changed their logos into sans serif, just very similar to Chinese KaiTi. For these brands, I think changing the logo can be something big. So it can't be that simple just because others use sans serifs, so I do too. Reading has gradually changing from paper to digital devices. On top of that, smartphones become the media of communication. Social medias like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram become very important way of advertising. Therefore, how to show the logos in such a small screen in the best way is an important consideration. Okay, so let's look back to the beginning, that digital devices started to use KaiTi. Yes, it's a feature phone with very low resolution. KaiTi or sans serif really help the legibility under the limitation of resolution. 2006 is the year that widescreen launched. Screen of 1080p just pop out and Windows started its very first KaiTi system font. But check out the resolution of your TV, computers, and of course your phones and tablets. What's the resolution of these devices you're using? I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, I saw an 8K TV in a shop of Japan. In this case, is KaiTi or sans serif really a must for the electronic devices? On top of the screen resolution, reading gradually transfers from paper to digital devices. When reading long articles, how to read comfortably with higher speed to achieve better understanding is also an important issue. Then, let's enter the main topic today, a responsive Chinese SongTi. Most of the existing Chinese SongTi MingTi are designed for printing. So for some old fonts, you could find little space leaving for printing to avoid too much ink. It's not many of them, but when people who don't know found it or say, oh, your font has a bug. If they know the story, they will know it's not a bug. Chinese contains large amount of characters. A small simplified Chinese character set contains 6,763 characters. The large one contains over 27,000 characters. Traditional Chinese character set Big 5 contains over 13,000 characters. It's a huge work to create complete character set, not to mention multiple weights. Besides, in the past 10 years, KaiTi becomes the mainstream. Even with evolved font technology, creating fonts could be so much faster than usual. Type designers and foundries have started to create fonts with the concept of family. While most of the Chinese typefaces created in the past 10 years were almost KaiTi, the amount of SongTi MingTi is relatively little, no mention to the weights. On top of that, when a typeface was designed, it was always for a single function. A very good example is the airport of Taiwan. It's easy to find these pictures on internet. In the past few years, people of Taiwan has been discussing over the type issue of the airport. The typeface is called 新细明体, a typeface that was designed for text. Actually, it's the system font before Microsoft changed its system font to KaiTi. However, it should be used for text, for articles, at least not in huge signages that shows people directions and people need to depend on them from far distance. You can have a close look and find how thin the horizontal strokes are. This is a very common scenario on MingTi SongTi, as I mentioned in previous pages. The problem doesn't only exist on screens with low resolution, but display light boxes. Because the light weakens the horizontal strokes and makes it even harder to recognize. A long distance even makes it worse. As technology evolved, creating font is much easier. With the concept of family plus OpenType variable font, a font family can not only be weight but also width, optical size, and more. You could check out Peter van Blokland's Big Count. It has 10 axes. There are many interesting things we could do to a Chinese font family. Let's see how we do to Chinese SongTi and how it can be used. Using MingTi SongTi on digital devices seems like a disaster in the past. We have overcome the screen resolution problem. How can we bring back the beauty of SongTi MingTi, use-wise and design-wise? We start from the weight. And then the contrast. I've been talking about the features of SongTi MingTi. It has higher contrast on its horizontal and vertical strokes. The horizontal strokes are always thinner. In the past, when we create a font, the stem width of horizontal strokes had only one strategy that didn't allow it to be used in different occasions. Thus, we set a couple of stem width strategies for horizontal strokes. Then, when it's used on digital devices, we don't need to worry about the horizontal strokes disappearing. Same when it's used on advertising light boxes. And when the stem widths of horizontal strokes keep the same, the elements on the terminals change so they could fit different use cases. The picture shows four kinds of stem widths of horizontal strokes. The stem widths create interesting contrast. When the stem width of horizontal strokes is very thin, it shows the delicacy of MingTi, SongTi. If users worry about the effect showing super thin horizontal strokes on screens, they could choose bolder ones according to their needs. These full contrasts are perfect for display. Okay, take the signage of the airport of Taiwan for example. You can see the horizontal strokes almost disappear. Then we try to make a mock-up with another MingTi with bolder horizontal strokes. It looks more clear. On top of the contrast, we also do some adjustment on the features of the terminals. Since using as display, it usually shows more details because the font size used is relatively bigger and the content is usually a simple phrase or a few words. So you could see that we make the terminals thinner for display and we lower all the little triangle elements to make it lighter and neat. And for text, we keep the elements bolder so that the darkness is even. When using on text, it helps the legibility and readability. Here are mockups using the four stem widths of horizontal strokes. It's great to show as display. According to the scenario, you could choose the perfect combination responsively. This is the scenario using as text on printing. And this is the text one using on screen. This is the family that we plan to do for the typeface 书院颂. On the left, you can see the family has 5 weights. And on the top, you can see edge 16, edge 32, edge 46, and edge 62, which represent the value of stem widths of horizontal strokes. According to the combination of weight and stem widths of horizontal strokes, we categorized the using scenarios of display and text. As I introduced, we do some detailed adjustment for display and text as well. Okay, with this responsive SongTi, 书院颂, I believe there's a big chance that MingTi SongTi be back, not only for printing, but also for digital devices, big and small. Don't you feel excited to create a SongTi 100% fits your using scenarios? Well, I do. Hope you like the idea of responsive SongTi. You can find more information about it on our website, which shows here. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's it?
So we are checking whether we have some questions or not.
Okay.
Laura said, wow, amazing work.
Thank you, Laura.
So what is the name of the SongTi you are displaying? It's the
书院颂. Yeah, 书院颂.
Maybe you can have the link sent into the chat there to let everybody can.
Oh, sure. Okay, let me find one.
Yeah.
Okay, just a moment.
But it should be a huge family, I think.
Yes, it will be a huge family, so we are still working on it.
I think you must take a long time to make it. How much time have you made? For several years?
For several years. Actually, we have launched it in 2014. But after that, we decided to, fix some of the, design details. So it took us another 5 years.
Another 5 years. Okay.
Yes. it's really hard to, do the work. Okay. You see it?
Yeah, the
Okay.
link is okay. So everybody can check the link below and see the details of the Shu Yuan song made by Arctic. Is it now in the format of the variable font?
Yes. Yes. We have variable font as well.
As well. So
Type and variable font.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So now it supports, for example, in Adobe's applications.
Yes. As long as Adobe support variable font, then it could be work on the application.
Cool, because I think Adobe Illustrator in InDesign already supports the variable font.
Yes, but we are still, ask them to be faster because some apps of them still doesn't work. I mean the variable fonts. Yeah.
So in the format of variable fonts, the Shu Yuan song has 3 axes, maybe.
The plan is 3 axes.
Cool.
The weight, maybe the width and optical size.
Cool.
But I'm not sure how long will it take us to finish the 3 axes. But that's a plan.
Cool. And you also provide the package font besides the variable formats.
Yeah. Yes. Instances.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you show us the numbers, the age 16, so 36. I think it's a little complicated.
32, 64. So that's for the contrast.
So you just pack the instance into the package?
Into the package? Well, not really. We put that online for, the subscription, or you could just, purchase any instance you like.
Okay, very good. So that is my personal questions. So let's see if anybody have some more questions.
Oh, thank you to post the English version. Sorry, I think I didn't realize I posted Chinese one.
Okay, thank you, Satoru.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think that's it. Any other questions?
If no more questions, maybe we can finish the session here. And everybody is welcome to the ATypI hangout rooms. Today is the Halloween, so we have the costume party there.
Really?
So maybe you can dress in pumpkin.
So, okay, great.
Yeah, have fun to the hangout space there. And also, thank you for joining the ATypI 2020, the all over. And see you. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.